Rogue Legacy is an action platform with roguelike and Metroidvania elements that has a single-player campaign. And in today's video, I will show you the 10 best games like Rogue Legacy that you would love to play. So without any further ado, let's start this video. Number 1, we have Neon Abyss. It's an action platformer with roguelike elements in which you join a demon army and sprint and shoot through randomly generated dungeons. Similar to Rogue Legacy, the game's levels are littered with hidden treasures that, combined, may bestow incredible power on the player's character. Number 2, we have ScourgeBringer. Compared to Rogue Legacy, a similar roguelike platformer, ScourgeBringer's traversal is faster and more open-ended in an effort to keep players on the go. Players take control of a lethal warrior called Kia, as she traverses a mysterious planet populated by ancient robots. Number 3, we have Skul the Hero Slayer. The player takes control of a tiny, cape-wearing skeleton hero who may change his attributes and get new abilities by donning a variety of skulls. Like Rogue Legacy's characteristics generator, but with much greater leeway for players to pick and choose which qualities to preserve, this system allows for much customization. Next up, we have Dead Cells. It combines elements of roguelike story progression, Metroidvania exploration, and Souls-like fighting in an engaging way that may need several plays to master. It has you exploring procedurally created worlds teeming with hostile adversaries, terrible traps, and hidden routes leading to potent prizes. Number 5, we have Sundered Eldritch Edition. The player takes on the role of a warrior, who becomes lost in a labyrinth of caves populated by terrible monsters. There is a wealth of options for improving your character's stats and giving them new skills to use while adventuring around the maze-like cave structure. Next up, we have Wizard of Legend. The protagonist, a promising young wizard, is involved in a competition called the Chaos Trial, in which he or she must use magic to overcome a series of increasingly difficult tasks and ultimately face the most powerful wizards in the world. Players will need to hone their skills at avoiding and casting spells as the difficulty of each combat increases. Next up, we have a Nice Death. As the game's protagonist, you'll be playing as a soul collector who's had it with his coworkers' demands and is ready to pick up his scythe and settle the score. As you explore Death Incorporated, you'll find over 30 different weapons and spells at your disposal, many of which may be upgraded to form deadly combos. Number 8, we have Scaper. Similar to Rogue Legacy, Scaper is a 3D action roguelike that has its own unique gameplay elements. The player assumes the role of a lady called Cassidy, and must go within her psyche to face the numerous perils that have emerged there. Next up, we have Spelunky 2. Like games like Rogue Legacy, the hand-drawn cartoon graphic style of Spelunky 2's 2D platforming levels is evocative of the roguelike genre. The gameplay loop in Spelunky 2 is just as difficult as the first games, and it requires players to avoid deadly traps and creatures while amassing a wealth of treasure. Number 10, we have Vagante. Vagante is one of the few games that deviate from this trend. It is a 2D action platformer in which you play the part of a courageous adventurer, like Rogue Legacy. To play, one must enter a secret cave and find themselves in a grim fantasy world full of evil creatures and shady personalities. So that's the list of 10 best games like Rogue Legacy that you can play in 2022. Your support is much appreciated if you like the video and want to see more from Games Puff.